Well, I know we're missing one.
Yeah.
I don't know about the second.
Come out of the restroom.
Oh, there she is.
All right.
Ariana, are you ladies good? Okay.
It says they have a meeting in August. It says so.
I don't think we did.
Really? Okay. You're turning out minutes?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Let's get started here. I want to welcome everybody to the October 16th special meeting of the Gilroy Planning Commission. I'd like to start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Moving on to report on posting the agenda and roll call, please.
The agenda was posted on Thursday, October 9th, 2025 at 6:04 p.m. Roll call. Commissioner Benson? Present. Commissioner Ellie?
Present.
Commissioner Kushner?
Here.
Commissioner Valdez?
Here.
Vice Chair Donhauer?
Here.
Chair Bondal?
Here.
And Commissioner Langard is absent.
That is correct. Thank you. Item 4, public comments. Desiree, are there any public comments for items not on our agenda?
There are no speakers.
Thank you. I'm going to close public comment. And we're going to go to the consent agenda. 5.1, August 7th, 2025 Planning Commission meeting minutes. I heard little rumblings that we did not have a meeting in August. I don't remember either, to be honest.
The clerk remembers.
Yes, we did. We did. That's when we looked at 2 industrial buildings.
That's right. That is right. Commissioners, any questions, comments, concerns about the consent agenda? All right, I move that we approve and accept.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
A second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
Sorry. Commissioner Ellie?
Yes.
Commissioner Kushner?
Yes.
Commissioner Valdez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Donhauer?
Yes.
Chair Bondal?
Yes. Thank you. Moving on to public hearing. 6.1, zoning ordinance amendment to modify Chapter 30, Article LIV of the Gilroy City Code relating to accessory dwelling units, Z25-02. Michael, good afternoon.
Good evening, Chair Mandal. I'm used to previous Chair Mandal. Chair Bandal, good evening, Planning Commission. I'm Michael Fasati, the Planning Manager for the City of Gilroy. And I'd like to present to you this evening application Z25-02, our accessory dwelling unit ordinance update. Accessory dwelling units and junior accessory dwelling units, also known as ADUs, are residential units that can be built on lots that contain either a single-family residence or multifamily residence, like an apartment building. They come in all shapes and sizes, including detached, attached, built inside an existing residence, or even on the lower level of a residence, or attached to a detached garage, or above a detached garage, or even converting an existing garage into an ADU. The nice part about ADUs is that they provide a fast and low-impact means to add new housing within our existing neighborhoods. California has a severe housing shortage, and developing ADUs is a part of California's housing strategy to address the issue. Because ADUs promote sustainable development and expand affordability without requiring large-scale new infrastructure. Every year, the state of California passes laws to promote ADU development. Those laws must be adopted by local jurisdictions, such as ours, to remain compliant with the state's housing policies. Tonight, we plan on discussing these laws with you and providing you how the City of Gilroy will remain compliant with state housing policy. We'll first start out with the state laws that impact ADU development. Here's a picture of some of those ADUs I was referencing. In regards to the legislative context, and stated in the staff report, these recent state legislations have enabled new requirements for ADUs. The laws have include SB 477, AB Assembly Bill 2533, SB 1211, and SB 1077. Each of these bills have touched ADU legislation in a different way. Rather than going through the exact changes, I plan on just having a summary to share with you. SB 477 renumbered and reorganized the previous legislation into multiple separate statutes with the intent of making the laws more organized. AB 2533, which took effect in the beginning of this year, was designed to help legalize unpermitted ADUs. The goal of this law is to create an amnesty program for older unpermitted ADUs and JADUs without homeowners facing fines, penalties, or demolition orders. SB 1211 and 1077 allowed more ADUs on multifamily properties, updated standards, and streamlined ADU permitting in coastal towns. These laws were created to expand California's housing supply, plain and simple. Some of our major code updates are as follows. Government Code Section 65852.2 was a single statute in the Government Code, but it was a large and complex section made up of numerous subsections and hundreds of lines of detailed text. SB 477 changed that by repealing that section of code and replacing it with 33 new, shorter sections of code for clarity and ease of use. A good example to kind of just speak with you at is when you're at the counter and a resident comes in and says, "Oh, I read in the code that I'm allowed to build this ADU." Imagine having to go through hundreds of lines of text to find the couple languages that they believe interprets their approval. This specific law, SB 477, tried to change that by just summarizing the laws, putting them in a more organized, compact form to make it easier for the planner, for the local government, and just for the California resident themselves to define what they're allowed to do and not to do. Deed restrictions, which were discussed in your previous ADU update, have been brought back, except the deed restriction is not to allow ADUs as what we refer to as STRs, short-term rentals. Furthermore, the state law doesn't allow the ADU to be sold separately unless special circumstances such as the ADU or primary dwelling was built by a qualified nonprofit corporation. Lastly, the state added clarifying language to prohibit local governments imposing extra design requirements beyond what's allowed under state law. These updates are made to ensure consistent, streamlined approvals statewide. Additional zoning amendments include removing the one-story limit. That was something that the city did on behalf of the residents, allowing developers to include covered and uncovered parking spaces to meet ADU requirements, removing the restriction of an exterior stairways facing public streets as a reason to deny an ADU, and as previously stated, increasing the number of detached ADUs on multifamily districts and properties. In multifamily zones, up to 8 detached ADUs are allowed, but the number of ADUs are based on the existing dwelling units. I kind of like to preface this one because people are like, "Oh my God, you could add 8 more ADUs on a..." What the law says is you're allowed to add up to 8 detached ADUs, but it's dependent on the number of residences you currently have. So, for example, you have a fourplex, you're only allowed to build 4 additional ADUs. You can't build 8 because you only have 4 existing residences. But an apartment building that had 100 units could build up to 8. The new laws also added definitions and standards. For example, there's a definition for livable space that was created. The local ordinances needed to update their language to remain consistent with housing of community development, also known as HCD's standards, and ensuring that objective design standards do not preclude minimum state-allowed ADU projects. As with all zoning amendments, the city must find the amendment being proposed with the 2040 general plan. Staff has found the amendment to be consistent with supporting the goal to promote diverse housing types for livable neighborhoods. Furthermore, the amendment supports the housing element goals, such as encouraging unit production and removing regulatory barriers. Staff did a public notice of this project and received public comment from a community member. The community member commented on the following, requesting adding clarity regarding ADUs access from alleyways, requesting flexibility with legalizing ADUs built without permits, had a comment on limiting the design review by providing diagrams and examples, investigating how height is different in certain areas of the neighborhood in order to preserve neighborhood character. It commented on maintaining flexibility with parking and requested if there was any technology upgrades to support data reporting. As what was previously discussed, we've taken these and what we've previously discussed, how the number of stories worked with the height of an ADU. Staff really appreciates these comments and suggestions. We believe we can address a lot of comments we received from this resident and others through two ways. First way is to provide training to staff on how we'll manage future ADU applications in the future. One thing we appreciate as planners and as the code is to give some subjectivity on interpreting the code because every situation is different. And we want to be proactive in allowing goer residents to develop housing. And second is to fold these recommendations into future work plan items we have on our current work plan. We intend to continue to work on educating the community on ADU development for future years, as ADUs are being seen as a main driver in developing residential units with minimum impact to our infrastructure. So in closing, staff is requesting the Planning Commission determine the proposed zoning amendment as statutorily exempt from CEQA and recommending City Council adopt the ADU ordinance update. Planning staff has placed the ADU ordinance update on the City Council agenda in the coming month in an effort to complete the update by the end of the year. This concludes staff's summary of the proposed project. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michael. Commissioners, any questions, comments, concerns?
Did we have any reporting technology in place? I don't think we do, but I wouldn't know for sure.
We have actually updated our permitting software, and our permitting software, Tyler Technologies, has a lot more connections between planning and building permits. We're working kind of creating a more of a report structure, along with just the permitting software update. Me being the planning manager works very closely with the building official. I want to give a shout out to Ariana as our permit tech. She's been kind of the glue that keeps the building department and planning department together regarding these new technologies that we're working on. So we're working on it, Commissioner Ellie.
Thank you.
I got a couple questions. I know either last year or the year before that, Planning Commission took on an ADU project. Sorry, not a project, but it was an amendment for max size limits. I think it was 1,200 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. Is that being changed in the current proposed document that we're seeing here?
Yeah, so from what I recall, the Planning Commission made a recommendation to 1,200. I think the council pulled that back to 1,000.
That's correct.
Square feet. So what the city has done is we've still kept that cap at 1,000 square feet.
Okay.
One thing I can share, just to kind of, because I think the Planning Commission was looking to proactively allow ADUs to kind of come in office or to be built here, is some cities, they allow the state regulation of 800 square feet, and then they provide an additional permit to allow to go bigger. Gilroy, in an effort to kind of streamline this project, we went above and beyond the state regulation to go to 1,000 square feet without getting a separate planning permit. Hopefully that kind of meets the intent, allowing someone to develop their property not to 1,200 square feet, but at least to 1,000 square feet.
And just for clarification and just curiosity, are there any parking requirements that are updated within this new amended code?
Sure, Bondo. So yeah, The applicant has the ability to, when the city receives an application and a parking is required, there's certain reasons why parking wouldn't be required if you're close to a bus stop, if you're close to a transit area, if there's a car share program. But if a parking requirement is required, the change has been the resident can say, I have an uncovered parking space that we consider parking. There's certain local jurisdictions that may not be as proactive as the city, and where they could say like, well, that's not an open parking space, that's just a piece of land. I think the way the state's trying to say is that if it's accessible to a car and it meets the standard depth and width of a parking space, it can be considered a parking space. And the city of Gilroy is following that. So it doesn't have to be covered, it could be uncovered.
Thank you.
Sure.
I have a question. Did we answer that community members' questions? I think one of the slides back was these were the concerns.
Right. I don't know if they were necessarily questions. They were more comments.
Okay.
So there was some recommendations on changing the language. If the resident was here right now, I would share that. We'll take that into consideration. But the planning staff's takeaway were those comments were how we implement the zoning ordinance. And I believe we don't have to change the language to implement the concerns of that resident.
Got it. Okay. That's it.
All right, I don't see any further questions. Thank you. I'm going to open it up to public hearing. Desiree, any speakers?
There are no speakers.
I will close public hearing. Commissioners, disclosure of ex parte communications. I don't foresee any. Thank you. And we're open for possible action.
I just wanted to open discussion to just say I really enjoyed and noticed the new formatting of this packet, and I really appreciated the red line of the document, and it was hyperlinked and everything, so that was really nice. I mean, not that we haven't had hyperlinks before. I'm just saying, it was also hyperlinked. And I just thought it was very thoughtfully written. So thank you very much for providing all of that information. And I don't know what new software we're using, but I really love it. So thank you.
Actually, I had one more question about the legalizing of ADUs that were built before 2020. What is our process here internally? Is there a review? Do they have to bring everything up to code for approval, or is it just you do your application and your ADU is approved?
Thank you, Chair Bandal. It's you're technically supposed to bring everything up to code. But where I think the flexibility lies is the city is going, and we're currently doing it right now, it's kind of our past practice to work with the applicant. One question in regards to some of the comments is you may have heard individuals say like, oh, I have an ADU in the back and the city's kind of giving me a hard time with it. People's interpretations of ADUs come in all shapes and sizes also. What we're looking to do and what the state law is kind of pushing is that it really focuses on health and safety. And what I mean by health and safety, folks, is a foundations in there, that there's no exposed electricity, that you have a structure that's going to withstand the environment. And where we're working on to make that available is we have some very qualified building inspectors that can kind of make recommendations. With that being said, we still need a proper plan. We still need whoever the property owner is to invest in some money to have a plan that we can review. But our goal isn't to say like, this just isn't worth it, tear it down. I think what we may find, and I've found this in multiple jurisdictions, is in order to demonstrate you're in compliance, you have to remove sheetrock, you have to remove certain members of the structure, and then the next thing you know, you're like, oh, I darn near tore it down to show you I'm compliant, or vice versa. So we continue to strive to not make that a detriment to getting getting compliance. We strive really just to make sure that if this structure is going to be properly used as an accessory dwelling unit, we feel that health and safety is being preserved. I did want, one of the comments that that community member did bring up, and I just want to let all of you know, is between 2023 and 2025, the Community Development Department has created a pre-approved ADU website and platform. There's specific forms and ADUs that you can come to our website and look at to see. We currently have new applications submitted every week that we're reviewing. So there's, if someone's really interested in building an ADU on their property, there's help on the city's website to provide that, along with staff. Thank you.
And I have a question about ADUs before 2020 as well. So if someone in the community was looking to explore the possibility of getting that ADU legalized, could they just come and make an appointment to kind of understand the process and the cost of that before going through? I know a lot of this stuff is on the website, but sometimes people have questions and they want to, have a conversation.
Well, two things. One, we're investing in considering more education than we could provide. But at minimum, any property owner can come into our counter and speak. The concern is, just being a longtime planner in my days, it's some of the information we're trying to obtain from the applicant doesn't know.
Right.
So what that means is, there's why don't you come out to my property and, check it, and that's not,
Yeah.
I share with people, we're regulators, we're not designers.
Yes.
And so what we try to do is we try to look at every situation carefully, and we try to make recommendations on, like, it looks like this is an opportunity to build an ADU. We highly suggest looking for a qualified drafter, designer, contractor that can help you with your application. That's the farthest we can kind of get with them.
And kind of on when you said, ADUs are different to everyone, not in this city, but a friend of mine had his city come out and look at it, and he told me he had to tear it down. I have no idea what that one looked like, but when we were searching for a home, it said, there's an ADU in the back, and it was just an outdoor patio with a barbecue pit and like plastic sheeting around it. I'm like, that's not an ADU. That's not an ADU. But I mean, so, I do understand the challenges that you face.
No. Thank you, Commissioner L.
Commissioners, any further questions? All right, floor is open.
Would this be two motions?
Yes, it should be, yes.
Okay, I'd like to propose a motion that we recommend that the City Council, based on its independent analysis, find that approval of the City of Gilroy City Code zoning amendment is statutorily exempt from review under the California Environmental Quality Act, CEQA, pursuant to CEQA Guidelines Section 15282H, for the adoption of an ordinance regarding second units in a single-family or multi-family residential zone by a city or county to implement these provisions of Section 66314 and 66333 of the Government Code as set forth in Section 21080.17 of the Public Resources Code.
I'll second. I seconded.
I second.
We vote on it.
For clarity, let me make one addition to clarify the motion that Section 21080.17 and Guidelines 15282H give specific exemptions for ADU ordinances. And the ADU ordinances are in the articles beginning with Section 66314 and 66333. So just slight wording change with the same concept. You don't have to redo the motion.
Roll call, please.
Roll call, Commissioner Benson,
Yes.
Commissioner Ellie,
Yes.
Commissioner Kushner,
Yes.
Commissioner Leongart's absent. Commissioner Valdez?
Yes.
Commissioner Vice Chair Downhauer?
Yes.
Chair Bundle?
Yes. Thank you. That was 6-0.
I actually have a question. Sorry. When will this go into effect?
Immediately.
Well, it'll go into effect 30 days after the council adopts it.
Got it. Okay, so after it goes from us, it goes to council.
Yeah, it goes to council, they have to introduce it, then they have to adopt it, then it goes into effect 30 days. Sort of end of the year-ish.
Okay, thank you.
If I may, through the chair, yeah, there's we read it twice almost. It goes to the council, we talk about it, they read it a second time, and then 15 days after that, just like the city attorney stated, it goes into effect. So thank you, Planning Commission, because we really wanted to get it done for this year, and without your help, we couldn't have done it. So thank you.
We still need a second motion.
Yeah, I'd also like to make another motion that we recommend that the City Council adopt an ordinance Z 25-02 approving amendments to the Gilroy City Code, Chapter 30, zoning, Article, what is it? Do I just say LIV or 104? Okay, LIV.
Article 54.
Oh, 54, right, thank you. Regarding accessory dwelling units.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Okay. Commissioner Benson?
Yes.
Commissioner Ellie?
Yes.
Commissioner Kushner?
Yes.
Commissioner Valdez?
Yes.
Vice Chair Downhauer?
Yes.
Chair Bundle?
Yes. Thank you. That was 6-0. And moving on to new business, 7.1, Planning Commission Annual Presentation 2025 to City Council. I believe that is Michael as well.
Thank you, Chair Bundal. Again, Michael Vasati, Planning Manager, City of Gilroy. This is a presentation, I don't have a staff report about it, but this is the presentation for you as a commission. You present through the chair to the City Council, talking about the exciting work that you've been working on throughout the year. We summarized it. It was exciting for me to do this project because I got to see, investigate the things that each of you have done. I got to hear some of the great comments that you made. So here we go. It should be brief. I believe that as the chair, you'll share with the City Council what the Planning Commission is, how it's a 7-member body, that it's an advisory body to the City Council for review of planning applications. There's a number of different applications the Planning Department does review, as well as a discussion of development standards, comprehensive planning studies, and our zoning code. We'll share to the Council that you typically meet the first Thursday at 6 p.m. here in the City Council chambers, on occasion on the third Thursday. We plan on you, Chair Bundal, sharing with the City Council the members of the Planning Commission and how you serve a 4-year term. And we'll ask that you highlight some of the major actions and activities that you have presided on for the past year. We took a review and we pulled out 4 architectural and site review applications, which you opined on, a tentative map for the Renfu Villa and Town Center, Canyon Creek, Rocky Knoll, and Malvasia too. They're a part of the Glen Loma Ranch application that's been with the city for a number of years. There was 1 variance application, and you got to receive Planning Commissioner training regarding the CEQA, the California Environmental Quality Act. We plan on the chair speaking about some of the projects, the current planning projects that you reviewed. One of those projects, I believe, happened in October of last year. You reviewed an architectural and site permit for a contractor's yard at 2030-2060 Las Animas Avenue. Just a reminder, the 3.6 acre yard included a 120 square foot restroom building to serve the employees, as well as associated on-site improvements, including a parking lot, landscaping area, and a storage area for outdoor equipment. I wanted to note that architectural and site permits typically do not require Planning Commission approval, but since this project is located in the Murray Las Animas Overlay District, these come directly to the Planning Commission. As a matter of fact, there was 3 of those ARC and sites that came to you.
Did you say last year?
Yes.
How far back is this?
I believe October.
October.
Yeah,
yes.
October
'Cause
2025.
last year we did the presentation through September.
September, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is the one you did. This project, it was from last year. Oh, no, not this one. This one, October 2024. In May 2025, the Planning Commission reviewed 8875 Murray Avenue, also known as the Heatwave Project, an eyewear company that has expanded in the city of Gilroy. The project includes the development of 3 light industrial warehouse buildings totaling 120,000 square feet of area to be used for office, warehouse, and light industrial uses. In August of this year, Planning Commission reviewed an ARC and site permit to develop 2 industrial buildings at 8831, 8841 Maroka, thank you, Maroka Drive. That also included on-site improvements such as a trash enclosure and parking spaces. The Planning Commission reviewed this happened in 2024, the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025. The Planning Commission reviewed the extension of the Glen Loma Ranch Development Agreement for a recommendation of approval to the council, and 2 subdivisions, which occurred in February 2025. In January of this year, the Planning Commission recommended the City Council approve a zoning map amendment to rezone a 37.5 acre undeveloped property from A1 agricultural to RH residential hillside, as well as a tentative map to subdivide the 37.5 acre site between Miller Avenue and Santa Teresa Boulevard into 54 residential lots. The project is known as the Renfu Villa Residential Project. When it is developed, the project would include 40 tract homes, 14 custom homes, and a clubhouse that would serve the owners of the 14 custom homes. The Community Development Department is projecting major actions and activities anticipated for the upcoming year, which will be still reviewing current planning development projects. We're working on the zoning ordinance update and providing the Planning Commission with training in land use regulations and updated state law. I can't read the future, but I'm very confident we may be making some changes to the ADU ordinance as we go. There's just a lot of effort going to that. And just to kind of let you know, and I will be brief, there's a number of resources out there that, we kind of talk about ADU development, but it is really becoming a driving force in providing housing. It's giving homeowners an opportunity to develop, typically when that's kind of the developer's job. And by changing these laws and regulations, we're allowing people to multi-generally stay in place. We're allowing people to perhaps make more money to pay for their property. We're just giving people opportunities that were previously not afforded to them. So these are some of the laws, or these are some of the actions and activities we anticipate for the upcoming year.
Michael, I know that I've been doing this presentation for 5 years now. There's going to be definitely questions about our training. I didn't see a slide per se on the exact trainings we received. I think I'd like to have one in there because I know I'll get questioned on exact training that we received.
Definitely, Chairman Dahl, we can definitely add that.
Thank
I
you.
would like to add too that
A bullet point, but we can expand that into a slide.
Okay.
I would like to add too that 2 of us went to the training earlier this year.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Was it the Planning Commissioners Academy or the League of?
Planning Commissioners Academy in March.
Thank you.
When is the next one? Is it in March?
It's March. Again, yes.
They did cut our budget though, didn't they?
No,
okay.
it's the same budget.
And I also would like to add, for the at your discretion, for the Renfu project, what was really beautiful about that project is that I had a dedicated preserved area in perpetuity on that development. So that creek and this area surrounding the creek will be preserved area, although private property. And we also gave feedback to the county on the bike path. plan. So,
Chair Bundall, we will be glad to add these comments in there, provide a script, also taking everyone's feedback.
Absolutely, thank you.
May I make one comment also?
Please.
On slide 2, you talk about the Planning Commission as an advisory body, and it generally is, but it's also a decision-making body for some things, like these site and architectural permits. You made decisions. Now, they might be appealable to the council, but nonetheless, your decision was a decision. So I think it'd be more accurate to say an advisory body and a decision-making body for some items. And this may be important because one of the revisions to the Brown Act, there was a new law that really overhauled the Brown Act, talks about advisory bodies and makes a distinction between commissions that are, it calls them subsidiary bodies, commissions that are strictly advisory versus others. So it actually is a technical decision that may, a technical distinction that may be important in the future. I just want to clarify that slightly.
Sounds good.
Some of our commissions are purely advisory, but planning commission is sort of mixed.
Thank you.
I don't know if we have a decision-making body as far as the capital improvement budget, but we certainly have a review of it, and they want our decision about it to council.
I think you're an advisory body on that one.
We are- And Michael, once the revisions are made, if they can all be shared with all the commissioners?
Definitely.
Final review. Thank you.
November 17. So we actually could bring back at the November meeting, if you like. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. Sure, but would that be okay if we come back to the early November meeting, share that we address these,
Gives us
add more
plenty
if you
of time.
like? I mean, it's to recognize the work that you do, so we want to make sure we get it right.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Any further questions for Michael? Thanks so much, Michael. Appreciate you. All right, moving on to 8.1, Planning Division Staff Approvals. Commissioners, any questions on that document? I see there are none. Moving on to 9, Planning Division Report. Sharon.
I just want to remind the commissioners about the appreciation dinner on Thursday, November 20th at 6 p.m. at the Senior Center. Look forward to seeing all of you there. Thank you.
All right. 10, City Attorney Report.
Well, the Assistant City Attorney report is that the Assistant City Attorney, as usual, sends her regards. She sent me to the meeting because I had worked on the ADU ordinance and was familiar with the horrible state legislation that we were trying to, I say horrible meaning complicated and hard to understand, state legislation that we were trying to comply with. But she sends her regards to you and hopes to see you next month.
Thank you. And with that, I'm going to adjourn to our next meeting of November 6th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Well, this whole hillside's all